Hello mates, let's practice some cello. We're going to start off with exercises and then you're free to do whatever you want. If you haven't already cut your fingernails, please pause the video and do that. You might also want to get tuned up before we get into it. Okay, so let's start off with your pinky on the A string. You're just going to be tracing a line all the way up and down the A string. This is a sort of like 3 birds with 1 stone exercise. It's toughening up the calluses on your fingertips. It's warming up your shoulder and your arm, and it's sort of teaching yourself, if you're not even up to shifting out of first position at all or beyond 4th position, this is just kind of getting you in the zone for that being a possibility one day. Let's do 3rd finger on the D string. If you can't do this smoothly, go slow enough that you can keep your, my finger just fell off. I was gonna say so that you can keep your finger on the string the whole time. But if you've already got calluses on your fingertips, you probably will be able to go faster. All right, G string with 2nd finger. If you're someone who is shifting all over the fingerboard, then I would probably encourage you to be moving your thumb from behind the neck to thumb position as an added component for this. All right, 1st finger on C string. And then we're going to move on to, imagine you have a pen tip right where your thumbnail joins the tip of your thumb, slightly on the side. So think about where your thumb would normally touch the back of the neck if you're playing with really good cello technique and you've got like a rounded hand shape here. So it should be a little bit of your thumbnail touching there. I just want you to imagine that that is like the tip of a pen and you're drawing a line on the back of the neck, a nice straight line starting in 1st position and going up to 4th position. And close your eyes and just really feel your way into this as a way of kind of positioning your hand and feeling like your thumb is kind of an anchor and it's leading the way with shifts while staying in this really nice rounded position that's not going to lead to you clamping with your left hand. Okay, so we've done a little bit of that. Let's do something for the bow this time. Can we start off with the bow in the middle, at the middle point on the C string? And I'm thinking we should be rocking the bow between the C string and the G string. And I really want you to focus on your elbow being the thing that's driving this string crossing change. There's a time and a place for just using your wrist or your fingertips to make this work. But right now, I don't want, if you're an advanced player, I don't want you to forget that this is actually also really important to make use of sometimes. Okay, go middle 2 strings, so G to D. And imagine that your elbow has 4 different shelves that it can sit on. You've got the C string shelf, G, D, A, and whenever you're rocking between those 2, I want you to be really conscious of where your elbow is sitting. Okay, let's go top 2 strings, so D to A. While you're doing this, this is a really good opportunity to think about how your thumb in your bow arm is feeling. Is it squeezing already? Because really, there's not much reason to be squeezing at this point. So if your thumb is tense and jammed up against the bow at this point, you might need to investigate that. Like, why are you squeezing? Because we're not even trying to make any sound at this stage. So try to keep that thumb relaxed. Not so relaxed that you drop your bow, but just enough so that you're not doing more work than you need to be. Okay, now let's go through all the strings. So start C string, rock all the way over to the A string. Make sure that your elbow is moving smoothly in time with your wrist. And if you are able to concentrate on something else, can you also have a look at the direction that the tip of your bow is pointing at, and just make sure that it's always pointing out to the side. You can kind of measure it against the C bout here. So when you get to the A string, it should be roughly between these 2 corners. I know you can't see that, that's out of the frame, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about there. So for the C string, have a look on this side of your cello and check that your bow is centered there. And then on the A string, check that it's doing the same thing on the opposite side. It's going to feel like, if you are a smaller person, it's going to feel like you're really having to kind of reach forwards and out in order to keep the tip of your bow in the right spot for that. Okay, lovely. That might also have felt like a little bit of a workout for your right arm too. Can we do some bow jumps now? So again, this is something that I get students to do of all levels because it's just such a good reminder. If you're a beginner, it's more about jumping the bow out to the tip, making a wide, sort of a nice high arc. So really lift the bow up and then plonk it down at the tip. And you're really just trying to teach your hand what position, the way that the bow hold is going to slightly change in order to keep the bow straight. If you're more of an advanced player, then this is more about using your whole body to feel like you have more power out at the tip, so that you're not just generating that power from shoving your thumb up and your finger down, but that it's sort of like more of a whole body feeling like you're really on top of the cello. It's really important if you are a small female cellist who's not going to grow any bigger. You're already an adult like me. The hardest version of this is on the A string. For people with short arms, you're really going to have to feel like you're bringing your body out to get all the way out there. If you've got nice long arms, then you don't need to worry about that. Congratulations. Okay, let's bring another element to this. So we're starting on the D string, you jump out to the tip and then bow back to the frog and then jump out to the tip again. If you're able to, see if you can land without too much bouncing. So nice high elbow to really smack the string down. One more. Now let's just do 2 of these on the A string. So land and then that's it. Once more. Lovely. Okay, and then just to bring the right and the right and the left arms together, can we do a harmonic glissando? So on the A string, let's use the same fingers we used before. So pinky on the A string. You're just touching the string lightly and tracing up and down that string, hearing the range of harmonics that you have. Okay, let's go D string, 3rd finger. Try and keep your bow moving straight, nice and light. 2nd finger, G string. And then lastly, 1st finger, C string. We're going to do one last thing for your left hand before I let you go off and do whatever you want. Pop your hand on the side of the cello here, and I want you to just practice cleanly lifting and dropping your fingers. If you're more advanced, hopefully you're hearing a really, really clean tapping sound here, and you're able to do this motion, lifting your pinky without any muscles in the rest of your hand squeezing in the process. Okay. You might also want to try faster. Move on to your 3rd finger now. Pretty much for everyone, this is going to be really hard to do. You won't be able to lift it as high as the pinky, but still focus on it being a nice clean movement and just reassuring your 2nd finger that it's okay to stay down. Your 2nd finger is going to want to get involved in this. And then moving on to the 2nd finger. If you're noticing your thumb starting to squeeze at all, just remind it that it can relax. It's got no job right now. And then 1st finger. Try to keep your fingers rounded as you're doing this exercise. So if you want to go back through all the fingers with that in mind, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, pick something that you want to work on, or if you want to call it a day, then that's fine too. At least you've done a little bit of cello maintenance. But good luck practicing whatever you want to practice. And thanks for practicing with me. See ya.